Warning, F-bombs are armed and they will probably be dropped. All right. So, about a week or so ago, I read something on Wikipedia that said that the economic collapse in Iran was caused by bad loans to regime cronies. Oh, corruption in Iran. What a shock. And I didn't follow up on it because it's Wikipedia. All right. Honesty is not the best policy there. So I just sort of filed it away. But this thing got caught in my craw a few hours ago. I decided to go looking. What's the story here? Well, I couldn't find anything on Wikipedia per se, but I did find that there was a timeline of protests. They range from 2009 to present, with only a couple of years of no protests. Uh, 2009 to 2011, I think it was, and 2024. There appears to have been no or not enough protests to notice. No, okay, wait a second. They've been having a problem since 2009? Huh. I kept digging and I found this story and I want to read this. This is from New York Post. Link will be in the description. How an Iranian bank collapse fueled economic unrest, drove thousands to protest. An Iranian bank collapse late last year fueled the economic crisis that drove thousands to protest across dozens of cities over the past 2 weeks, threatening the Islamic Republic's control. Allenda Bank, which was run by regime cronies, went belly up with nearly $5 billion in losses on a pile of bad loans, according to the Wall Street Journal report. Oh, well, that's quite interesting. And then saw a video, and I'm not going to uh, trumpet it because the source is questionable to me. Um, but what they suggested was that to try to compensate for this bank's collapse, the regime started printing money. Anybody tells you that's automatically a bad idea. So what does this tell me? Well, it tells me that the regime has known it was in trouble for quite some time, at least since 2019. Remember, protests really start in 2009 over this questionable uh, uh, presidential election. Of making these loans, knowing that they were bad loans, could only be to get the money out of the country. Now, economic sanctions work very, very funny, right? If it's your personal money, you can generally keep it. There's some exceptions to that rule. I've known known crime money, drug lords, when they're extradited, when Noriega was extradited, all of his money was taken, and it's still sitting in a pile somewhere. Um, it takes a few years to set up a network to smuggle the money out. You have to send people abroad, people that you can trust, by the way. They have to set up a presence, they have to set up bank accounts, they have to have some reason and means to have the money. They have to this, they have to do a lot of things to make that money look clean. And then you have to pump it through two or three countries. Now, pumping it to Qatar, easy. Qatar was Iran's little butt buddy, dancing boy. Afghanistan, yeah, a little bit shakier because we know how relations between the two fell out, how fast relations between the two fell out. Um, but from Qatar, maybe Iran, Syria, Libya, um, Egypt, they can easily then transfer that money around the world two, three times to countries where their relations would be on, or their bolt holes, that's the proper term, would be on stabler grounds. Argentina, uh, uh, Colombia, Brazil, um, Russia, even the United States. Yeah, they could get that money to the United States. They just got to go through more than a few hoops. That's not impossible. That's actually very doable. It's been done so many times before. Um, but they've got to do it, and that takes time. This got me to thinking about coronavirus. A world shut down and unable to really look into anybody. Oh, that would have been a hell of a good time to move, wouldn't it? And remember, I've been saying since February of 2020 that Iran created coronavirus and framed China. That I haven't changed that at all. I'm worse now, even despite the evidence that has come out. I believe it more now than I did then. They've known for over a decade that there was a problem. They spent most of that decade setting up a network. Rat lines is what they've been referred to, at least in World War II, um, to get the money out safely so that they could still use it when they got to wherever it is they're going. Now, Donnie wants to park a fleet of aircraft carriers in the Persian Gulf and discuss the subject of nuclear weapons. We won't need a deal on nukes if the regime is gone, right? The new regime, whatever it may be, and I am very, very open here, um, will make a new deal. And whatever it is that they inherited from the old regime, the satanic death cult that's about to fall, um, well, that'll be theirs now. And whatever deal they made doesn't apply to the new regime. What the people of Iran need right now is the satanic regime to be gone, preferably all dead, but at very least gone, out of power, preferably out of the country or preferably in prison. Worst case scenarios, out of the country where they can't do any more harm. And the best way to do that would be to simply bomb the IRGC in Farja barracks. People don't have to die, but it doesn't hurt. Barracks in this context means facilities, um, motor pools, armories, especially, well, armories especially, motor pools, uh, very helpful. You know, if those 50 motorcycles are suddenly 10, those people have a chance to fight back. If those guns are literally blown up, those people have a chance to fight back. We're seeing a regime that bare minimum, this is the not even conceivably less than number. 5,000 of their people have been massacred in the streets, drug out of hospitals and shot, um, uh, run over, right? And I'm really beginning to wonder if that 50,000 number is really so wild. There's just too many stories. There's too many videos. There's a video that I saw. Granted, uh, it was not a good video to begin with, and it was on my phone, so I couldn't really see a whole lot of detail. But what I could see was a motorcyclist running through a crowd, and the crowd running away, trying to run away. Um, that's a lot of evidence that's coming out that's saying no, something is actually going on. This is the stories from when I was a 20 something year old and hearing the stories about there being whole villages massacred in Bosnia. That can't be possible. Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. All right. And with the country in an internet blackout, they can't get the information out. So they're using whatever they can. So we're getting this tiniest little trickle. We're only seeing maybe 1% of the evidence. If we're only seeing 1% of the evidence, then we're maybe not even hearing the half of the results. And yes, I just said that it's possible that Iran has killed equal to or too close to call 100,000 people. People of Iran do not need a nuclear weapons uh, deal, especially with the regime in place right now, which has already repeatedly shown they don't honor deals. They don't honor agreements. They don't even honor agreements with their own people. Remember, I said that there was been protests since 2009. The first one was over that presidential election, and that woman got murdered, shot, just brazenly shot in the chest. All right, I've seen the video of her death. Uh, I didn't see the shoot, but I did see as she died, and you can see that, yeah, she was shot in the chest. All right. Protests against murdering a woman in the street led to the hijab protests, which led to that other young woman uh, being arrested by the morality police and raped in custody. I want to point something out here because I don't think anybody's taking this hint. The Iranian morality police were all women, and that young woman was raped to death in police custody. You get it now? Or do I have to literally download a, a, a porn photo for you to understand what happened that night? People cannot stand up to the regime. The best that they could maybe do is set up protests in an area and then have choke points of buildings around that area with rocks stockpiled on top of it to throw down on the motorcycles as they come by. That isn't really going to work, but it is going to hurt and incapacitate some of the motorcyclists. All right. And that's the only means that those people have to resist because they don't have anything else. That was for you, Doc. After this crisis is over, I am begging whoever takes over next to consider these words. Had the founders foreseen the future, they would have written a very different Second Amendment. A well protected public being necessary to the security of a free state, the duty of the people to keep and bear arms shall be enforced. Enforced, as in you either carry or you have one hell of an explanation why not. The first purpose of the Second Amendment was to enable the people to meet unlawful force with like force. And what is going on right now, today, in Iran, is the most extreme and abusive example on unlawful force I recall seeing in my lifetime, and only the third worst since the end of World War II. The people of Iran are being massacred, just brazenly massacred. People are being shot for being in the wrong area. There are multiple stories of children who were shot because they were in a car that was too close to a protest area. All right. The people of Iran cannot survive this way. That is the reason they are rising up. They cannot survive with a regime that knows it's on its last legs and was smuggling the money out of the country. The first purpose of the Second Amendment was to enable the people to meet unlawful force with like force. Keep calm and mandatory carry on. Javid Shah. I hope I said that right. Sorry if I didn't.